time of being the world's most famous enemies.
You can count on me like 1, 2, 3.
Tom and Jerry are about to start over.
'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah.
In the big city.
This hotel has been host to 4 presidents, 3 popes, 2 kings, and we're about to host the wedding of the century.
Do you think you're qualified to take on this position?
I shine under pressure, like a diamond. Or Rihanna.
One other thing. We have a mouse problem.
With the what now? I'll catch it, sir.
Everybody gonna shine. I was born like this, don't even gotta try.
Oh, wow, this is so detailed. We could hire an exterminator, or we can leverage millions of years of predatory evolution.
Not the baddest lie.
If a picture of this mouse is tweeted out to Instabook Face or TikTok, we will be ruined.
No, sir, that's not gonna happen. That rodent is toast.
I will not let this hotel be ruined by a cat and a mouse.
He's toying with us.
I think I might have just pulled this off.
Really?
We blowing up the whole thing. Everybody in the bouncy house go bouncy, bouncy now. Bouncy now.
Hi, Pallavi. How are you?
Good to see you.
I've really been looking forward to speaking with you today. How are you? How's things in Australia?
Last year was horrendous, but I'm very lucky. I'm outside of the lockdown zone right now, shooting in Queensland, so I can't complain.
All right. Okay. So Tom and Jerry are back, but not like anything we've seen before. And now that the cat's out of the bag, tell us, what can we expect from this live action animation adaptation?
Yeah, it's a lot of laughs, it's a lot of nostalgia, and I think, a real opportunity for us to feel warm and fuzzy in a time when we all really, really need it. I think that's what the brilliance of this timing is, in a sense, even though, the world's gone through a lot. Art and storytelling can bring us alive again. And I think the hearkening back to what Tom and Jerry used to do for our generation, for our parents' generation, and now for all of our friends and their kids, I'm really looking forward to seeing all the families going and enjoying themselves.
Absolutely. Okay, so Pallavi, I know you've appeared in films that have starred some of the industry's leading talents like Dev Patel in Lion, Shah Rukh Khan and Kajol in My Name is Khan, and you were the leading lady opposite Ranbir Kapoor in Besharam. But I need to know, how was it being cast alongside Tom and Jerry?
Oh gosh, I have to say they are bigger divas than Ayushmann and Ranbir put together. No, you know what? There was something so strange about not having your leads come to set every day, and just having to imagine what they might do. But as the human actors, I think I got really lucky because Chloe, Michael, Rob, Colin, all of the actors that I worked with were phenomenal, not just talented, but also very, very lovely human beings. And that's what made going to work so fun every day, was that we all knew that we were creating something to make people laugh, and everyone just being so committed to that. And therefore just being very open-hearted with one another on set. And a job like that is really special.
Well, you definitely achieved the lots of laughs. I know there were so many moments, iconic moments actually, that, as you said, harken back to some of the original cartoons that we see. There's a scene at the beginning of the film where Jerry's got a clutched fist. He's concealing something. reveal, a big punch to the face that he does so often in the original cartoons. So I like those, I like those aspects that echoed some of the originals that we're so used to seeing. But the animation department didn't stop at Tom and Jerry, though, did they? They brought back Butch and his alley cats, Spike the bulldog, and Tom's
and
lady.
Toots.
Toots, yeah.
Toots, my baby girl.
Exactly, yeah. So Spike and Toots happened to play your pets. What was it like wrangling those two? I know you've talked a little bit about, interacting with these non-existent characters, but how did you manage overall to, what was that interplay like with something that was probably, puppets or a stick and a tennis?
Yeah.
Like?
Yeah, well, Toots was a puppet. Toots was a soft toy rather, and Spike was actually a human pretending to be a dog, which was really fun. I mean, poor Colin had a human on a leash for many scenes and was just barking and gnawing at his leg. I was like, that's weird. That's hard to perform with that. But we were so lucky because everyone really knew what they were doing. It was not their first rodeo. So we really just relied on our director, Tim Story, who was so supportive and made sure we all felt safe as actors. And the crew that are used to doing animation. And I have to say, being from a dance background actually helped me a lot because, there's a lot of body language stuff. There's a lot of interplay with, moving with a puppet and making sure that that feels real. And I think being someone who does a lot of body work, it really was just an added bonus. But even without that, I mean, we were in very safe hands.
Yeah, I suppose more than anyone, it probably played into your physical ability more than anyone. Or did anybody find it easy or challenging in any other way? They must have had a unique
I can't, yeah. I mean, I could only speak for myself. And also Colin and my scenes were quite separate. Chloe's scenes as Kayla were with Tom and Jerry predominantly. So I'm sure her experience was completely different. But my main interaction with Jerry was during the car chase. And that was definitely a lot of imagination. Jerry's now popped down here and he's popped down there. So you do feel slightly silly and you're overacting in the moment, but then you remember that it's a children's film and that you're interacting with a cartoon. Yeah, in the sunroof.
On point, but yeah. Your reaction was literally, on point. It was, well, my thought in that moment was wow, I wonder what really happened there.
It was nothing. It was thin air, and it was a director saying, "This is happening right now."
Incredible. How did your family and friends react when you told them that you're going to be starring alongside Tom and Jerry, the movie?
My friends with little kids are very excited. That's giving me some street cred, definitely, because they're very confused about what I do. And a lot of the projects I do are adult films, not adult films, but of PG plus, so the little kids can't watch them. I remember one of the kids, my friend's daughter, watched Beecham House, and she was just like, "Are you going to marry John Beecham?" She asks me this every time I see her. She just can't understand the reality versus art thing. But with Tom and Jerry, I think it'll be pretty clear that I'm not really hanging out with cartoons, so she might realize what I do for a living.
One thing I felt when I saw the trailer back in November was that I was just so grateful that the director, Tim Story, kept our central characters mute. I feel like, had he given them dialogue, if they spoke, it would have lost the charm that we've come to associate with the Hanna-Barbera originals that reflect the golden age of animation. So I'm really grateful that you've kept it classic in that sense. But what was it about the whole project that pulled you in?
I think just everything we've spoken about. I mean, Tom and Jerry is just iconic on so many levels, and my agents will testify to this. I was like, I have to do this film. It's so important to me, and I think being of Indian background, people from India really love Tom and Jerry, and my association with Tom and Jerry comes through my Indian culture and my knowledge that everyone in India watched it. And it doesn't matter, it cuts through class, it cuts through caste, it cuts through, community, because of, the advent of liberalization in the 90s. Everybody has watched those cartoons, whether or not you live in a palace or, somewhere else. So I think that to bring that universality back to the screen was really special.
Amazing. Well, you looked amazing, and
Oh.
I'm really looking forward to seeing you in your next project, whenever that may be. So that's all we have the time. That's all we have time for today. I know I've got a Zoom scheduled with Tom and Jerry themselves, so we're going to have to leave it there.
Okay. Make sure they don't smash you on the head with a mallet.
It's been a pleasure speaking with you. Take care.
You too, Priyanka.
Everybody in the bouncy house go bouncy, bouncy now.